Howdy. My name's Luke Simons. I am the news director and one of the anchors over at KAGS HD, the NBC affiliate in the Brazos Valley. On behalf of everyone at our station and on behalf of the Fightin' Texas Aggie Band, we'd like to thank you all for joining us today. We also want to say a special thank you for those of you who are watching at home on KAGS HD. We think today's announcement is a very big one that we are all excited about, and I hope you're excited about it too. At KAGS HD, one of the things we pride ourselves in is the fact that we are dedicated to our community, and obviously Aggie Land is a very big part of that community. There's no doubt that one of the things we want to do is make sure everyone knows how important all of you are to us. That being said, I'd like to get this press conference started and introduce our station manager at KAGS HD, Roby Somerford.
Thank you, Luke. Howdy! Howdy! Good job. Good job. I want to thank everyone today for braving the heat and coming here, but I want to say I have some great news that I want to share with you all. The fact that we are gathering at the Sam Houston Sanders Corps Center and have the honor of having members of the Fightin' Texas Aggie Band, members of the Corps of Cadets, the Yell Leaders, Reveille, and distinguished members of the Texas A&M should give you an idea. But if not, it gives me great pleasure to announce KAGS TV, your local NBC affiliate for the Brazos Valley, and the Fightin' Texas Aggie Band have partnered together for KAGS to be the flagship station and home to the Fightin' Texas Aggie Band. Now, isn't that exciting? Included in our partnership, KAGS will air and promote 14 new and unique 30-minute episodes of the Fightin' Texas Aggie Band Show. It is truly an honor to be associated with such an organization with such a rich tradition. This show, celebrating its 20th anniversary, is hosted and directed by Dr. Bruce Bockhorn, who I believe is about as excited about this as I am. So howdy, Bruce! Howdy! So let me tell you a little bit about the show. This great piece of programming will air Sunday nights at 11 o'clock after NBC's Sunday Night Football and KAGS Aggie Sports Overtime. This show will feature highlights of band members, intriguing stories about the Texas Aggie Band's traditions, and most importantly, the previous week's entire performance. Pretty exciting. I want to thank some people who helped make this happen. There are Rudy Grimaldo and Andrew Kilsner with RDM, who are producers of the Texas Aggie Band Show and have greatly assisted in putting together today's press conference. I also want to thank Mr. Gail Kiger, General Manager of KCEN, our sister station in Waco. KCEN will also be airing the Texas Aggie Band Show. And also want to thank Mr. Phil Hurley, Senior Vice President for Gannett Broadcasting, our parent company, and I want to thank you both for coming here today. I also want to thank our new A&M partners, Brigadier General Joe Ramirez, Dr. Bruce Bockhorn, Dr. Tim Ray, all of whom you will hear from shortly. And now I want to turn it over to Luke, but first, gig 'em Aggies!
Thanks, Roby. Now, next up, I would like to introduce the host of the Aggie Band Show, the man that you're going to see on Sundays on KAGS HD, class of 1974, Dr. Bruce Bockhorn.
Howdy! Back in the fall of 1994, hundreds of former Aggie Band members such as myself joined the Aggie Band in celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Fightin' Texas Aggie Band, and we were led by the Texas Aggie Band Association President, Dr. Donald B. Powell, Aggie Band class of 56. However, about this time, there was a major change in the landscape of college football television broadcast because the TV networks were cutting out of halftime and going back to the studios to have scores and updates rather than covering the bands who actually were performing each week. Former Aggie Band member Bob Barker, class of 71, said, "You know what, this is just not right." And troubled by this change, Bob told a few people, "You know what, if they won't cover the bands, my company and I, Barker Productions, we're going to do it." So what did he do? He created the band show. and not just any band, but this band, the Fighting Texas Aggie Band. Bob knew, being a former member, that the halftime drills the Aggie Band does would be a great match for the TV networks because of their constant movement, their changing patterns, and their big, bold sound. I know a few of Bob's classmates thought he might have been a little crazy, but he kept going, and in 1995, the show debuted. Bob served with us as our producer for 18 seasons and 210 broadcasts. Our first host was the late Dr. Powell, and he guided us through 9 seasons and 101 broadcasts as the Aggies played in the Southwest Conference and the Big 12. Dr. Powell had as his advisor his wife, Mary Jo. She was our technical and quality expert that kept us on track and made us what we are. Bob Barker and Mary Jo are here on the stage with me, and I'd like them to stand and ask you to give them a round of applause for creating the show and helping us get it started, making it what it is today. Bob and Mary Jo, will you please stand? Thank you. Not only great people, but I get to call them friends. I also want to take a moment. We're leaving KAMU-TV, the PBS station here on campus, and I want to thank John Bennett, their general manager, and their entire staff. Nowhere will you find a broadcast station with finer or classier group of individuals. Mary Jo reminded me the other day that this is actually a return to our roots, going back to network television, because our first show in 1995 was aired on KYLE-TV. And so returning to our broadcast roots is a major event. But what it also means is for the 20th consecutive season, the Aggie Band remains the nation's only college marching band with its own regularly scheduled weekly television show, and I think that's pretty darn special. So each week we're going to do, as Roby talked to you about, we're going to provide you insights into what the Aggie Band does. We're going to bring you even highlights of the other college bands when they show up or when we're on the road at SMU and, of course, Arkansas and Auburn. And we're going to show you highlights of their campuses when we travel with the Aggie Band. As you heard Roby mention, not only will we be on here in the Bryan College Station area, but all of our military personnel and fans in the Central Texas area will get to see us on KCEN TV out of Waco, and we're really glad to see that happening. So let me thank KAGS and Roby for all your commitment. This is a 3-year commitment for us, and that's big when you're in TV land. And I'd also like to take time as I close to thank our corporate sponsors, the Texas Aggie Corps Cadets Association and BJ's Restaurants. I'd also like to pay tribute to Learfield Sports, that weird phone call I got from them in the athletic department and Dr. Ray back in the spring. I'm thinking, what are they calling me about? Little did I know that this would happen today. And to General Ramirez and Dr. Ray, thank you for your support and your efforts to help us make this happen. And I close with this. To all 435 members of the Fighting Texas Aggie Band for the 2014-2015 year, I congratulate you as you get ready to step out for your 120th year of existence. That makes you the oldest college band in the state of Texas. And in my view, you are the best band, and that's why this show is successful. Thank you. Gig 'em.
Bruce, thank you so much. Obviously, a lot of reasons to get excited. Now, next up, a man who needs no introduction, especially for those of you in the Corps of Cadets. From the Aggie class of 1979, it is my privilege to introduce Brigadier General Joe Ramirez.
Thank you. Howdy. Well, it's an exciting time to be at Aggie Land, especially as we get ready to start the 2014-2015 school year. And more important, that we start off the year with the 2014-2015 Corps Cadets. We are extremely excited about the fact that the Texas Aggie Band Show is now part of KAGS TV, the NBC affiliate here in the Brazos Valley. I got to tell you, for those of us that were once members of the Fighting Texas Aggie Band, the Aggie Band Show has been a source of pride for us for 20 years. And we're all very, very excited about the fact that now it's going to be part of KAGS TV and KCAN. And we're proud that our Aggie Band is going to be featured every week, along with members of the Corps Cadets. One thing that I've always been proud of recently is the fact that Bruce has expanded that to not just the band, but also members of the Corps Cadets. And we have a lot of great stories here in our Corps of Cadets. A lot of fine young men and women that I believe are going to go on to become truly well-educated leaders of character in our communities, our state, and our nation in the future. So, Roby, I'm excited about this. We're all excited. I want to thank you for the opportunity to be able to put the Aggie Band Show on KAGS TV. Bruce, thank you and all your efforts to make this happen. We're all extremely proud of all you do for our band and our corps. And to all of you who are members of the Corps Cadets and the Fighting Texas Aggie Band, savor this moment, because trust me, 20 years from now, when the Aggie Band Show is still doing great things on KAGS TV, you're going to look back and remember this day and say, I was a part of that. I was a part of history. God bless all of you. God bless our Corps of Cadets. God bless Texas A&M University. And now, let's beat the hell out of South Carolina.
Howdy, Army! Let's beat the hell out of South Carolina. Pass it back, guys. Up and eggs. Up and eggs. 1, 2, 3. Beat the hell out of South Carolina. Hey! Gig 'em eggs. All right.
Talk to the combined band drum major, Tim McMillan, class of 2015. Thank you so much. First of all, we've been watching Kyle Field get bigger and bigger, and it's been a pretty amazing thing. Talk about the excitement for the Fighting Texas Aggie Band, for you guys to get that opportunity to go out in front of even more people than before.
Well, it's a really exciting time for the Aggie Band because we're going to have the biggest crowd in Kyle Field ever in the history of Kyle Field. So we're going to have more exposure, we're going to have more angles for the whole crowd to see all the precise lines and intricate moves that we make, and it's just a really exciting time for the Aggie Band.
87,000, I think, is what it's held about, in the previous years. It's going to 106. What are you expecting from the 12th man when you guys jump out there and take that halftime over?
Well, since it's being closed off and we're adding a lot more people, I expect them to be a lot louder and a lot prouder for the Aggie Band. And I can't thank the 12th man enough for supporting the Aggie Band. They are by far the best student section and supporting that and their band.
Perfect. Tim, thank you so much. We're going to bring Parker White in. He's the combined band commanding officer now. And Parker, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
This year's Aggie Band, over 400 cadets. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Talk about the goals, not just on the drill field, but in the classroom as well.
Right, yes, that's an excellent question. We've been performing in the past right at the university averages, and this year we're really looking to excel and push past that so we can prove not only to ourselves but to the university that you can be in the Corps Cadets, the Fighting Texas Aggie Band, and excel in the classroom as well. Now on the drill field, we are a precision military marching band, and we're some of the best in the country, so we only accept the best.
How do you get all these people to go? You guys make it look so easy, but I'm sure it's not that easy. Talk about the hard work that all of you put into this to make it look so good at halftime.
Right now we're teaching the freshmen how to march, and it's anywhere to 4 to 5 hours a day of practice. Typically on a given week it's 2 hours a day in the morning, and sometimes if we're not doing very well we're going to have another 2 hours in the evening. So every week it's a new drill. Every week we learn from scratch.
Parker, thank you so much for joining us. Now we're going to bring in Sarah Carricker, Artillery Band Commanding Officer. Sarah, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
Besides performing at Kyle Field, there's going to be 3 road trips for this band. Talk about that and what it's like to hit the road with this group.
Okay, we're going to SMU, Auburn, and Arlington, and we're taking bus trips. Only one of those trips is an overnighter, and my fondest memories come from those trips, traveling with all 435 people. We get to know the people that are not only in the band, like in our outfits, but also the others that aren't in our outfits. So that's the best trips are the ones that go away.
What's it like, though? You see opposing teams, people screaming at the Aggies, especially when you're on the road. But what's it like when you guys take halftime and people appreciate what y'all are doing?
It's an awesome feeling to know that other people from other schools know who we are and appreciate what we do after we come off the field. Remember Arkansas, that we came off the field and the fans were so appreciative of our hard work, and they, even though we beat them, they really appreciated everything we did. So.
Sarah, thank you so much. And finally, we're going to bring in one more. We got David Trigg coming on in, and David, talk about this. You're the Corps commander. It just continues to get bigger and bigger. This year, they're going to reactivate 3 more, groups. Just talk about how amazing it is that this continues to grow as it has.
Well, it's unbelievable. I mean, the Corps of Cadets, when I got here as a freshman, was around 2,100 cadets. We'll be beginning the fall around 2,500, 2,525. That's huge. And I travel across the state of Texas, and I talk to these old Ags, and they say, how big is your Corps this year? And it's unbelievable to look at them and say, well, we're the biggest Corps in the last 40 years. And the tears well up in their eyes, and they get so excited. So you know you're going to see them at the next football game. You know you're going to see them at the next march-in, and they're going to be proud of their Corps, as we are proud of ours.
Obviously, the former students are proud of it, but this group behind you, how proud are all of you the fact that this is growing, and it's the biggest class you guys have ever had?
Well, whether you're a key leader in the Corps or whether you're doing something on campus, if you're a member of the Corps of Cadets, you cannot be happier than you are right now. You have a brand new stadium, you have more exposure than you ever had, and you're bringing in more and more cadets into a leadership program that, in my opinion, is one of the best in the nation. With academics excelling, a professional development program that rivals many, and finally, cadets commissioning to the armed services larger than any other senior military college in the nation, we have everything going for us right now. Myself, my buddies, my classmates, we're proud of the Corps of Cadets.
David, thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, you're getting me pumped right here just talking about it. Now we're going to throw it back up to the stage. I'd like to send it back to one of the sponsors from the Aggie class of 1964. That's Colonel Don Crawford.
Howdy. I want to talk about from the perspective of an old Ag. There's never a football game we lose. We win at every game, and at halftime, we do more than just win. We are the best on the field, and it's been a thrill for the Corps Cadet Association and myself, representing over 35,000 former cadets, to thank you for all this fun you've presented to us, and we really appreciate the 13 years that we've been a corporate sponsor for the Texas Aggie Band Show. Have a good year. Ags, have a good year. Kick 'em.
Thank you, Don. Also want to introduce one more sponsor from the Aggie class of 1973, Jerry Deitchley.
Howdy. Howdy. Well, I'm Jerry Deitchley, class of 1973, and I am currently the chairman of BJ's Restaurants. We have 151 restaurants across America. We're headquartered in Los Angeles. I got up at 4 in the morning. It was 57 degrees, beautiful weather, but I wouldn't miss this event. And I'm heading back there first thing in the morning. We have 30 restaurants now open in the state of Texas, and we happen to have one of our best restaurants right here in College Station at the Post Oak Mall. You know, BJ's is extremely pleased to have the honor and the privilege of sponsoring the Texas Aggie Band Show for another season. How did we get involved with the Aggie Band Show in the first place? Well, a few years ago, one of my classmates, who was then serving as the president of the Texas Aggie Band Association, suggested that this might be a good opportunity and a good fit for BJ's and the Aggie Band Show. And you know what? He was absolutely correct. The Aggie Band and the Corps of Cadets and BJ's share many common principles and beliefs. Among them, high quality, innovation, a culture of excellence, a culture of disciplined execution, attention to details, high standards, high expectations, and most importantly, a high amount of pride and passion and enthusiasm in what we do in the institutions that we represent. So in closing, I'd like to thank everybody up here with me on the stage, and I'd like to also thank the Corps Cadets, and most importantly, the cadets in the Fightin' Texas Aggie Band for giving us this wonderful opportunity to sponsor this show. And I guess I can say this: let's beat the Fightin' Texas Aggie Band class of 1973 hell out of South Carolina.
Thank you so much. As you can see, there's so many reasons for all of us to be excited that are up here for the Fightin' Texas Aggie Band and, of course, KAGS HD. Now, for those of you who are watching at home, here's a look at what the schedule is going to look like. Sunday night football, of course, on NBC. You'll see that every Sunday night. The Aggie Sports Overtime gets started at 10:30, and then following that, last but not least, Texas Aggie Band Show. That begins at 11 o'clock. We hope that all of you will join us.